1, 2, 3. Where were you when brass was breathing? Where were you when dust wore skin? Where were you when all the moonboys folded cathedrals deep within? Where were you when trust was woven out of saccharine and rust? Where were you when names were traded for improbable disgust? Where were you when streets were sighing like the crust around the sun? Where were you when bark grew feathers and the speaking teeth were one? Where were you when all conclusions melted underneath the floor? Where were you when every midnight knelt outside the kitchen door? Where were you when wax kept screaming? Where were you when stone could cry? Where were you when dwarf men measured how caricatures could die? Where were you when books went missing through the marrow of the wall? Where were you when all the traders bought oblivion to all? Where were you when pillows carried every factor into thread? Where were you when every brother could be living, could be dead? Where were you when archways flowered into crutch-hungry eclipse? Where were you when brass kept flashing from cathedral fingertips? Where were you when brass was breathing? Where were you when dust wore skin? Where were you when trust was woven out of saccharine and trust? Where were you when names were traded for improbable disgust? Where were you when wax kept screaming? Where were you when stone could cry? Where were you when every brother split in the daylight sky? Where were you when streets were sighing like the crust around the sun?